Right, this is a walk around video for a really lovely car. It's a Honda Cr-V 2-litre EX automatic. And this particular car is a 2008 vehicle with just 49,000 miles on the clock. As you can see here, with its lovely deep front bumper, this one actually has the dynamic aero pack, which is a very expensive option by Honda at the time. Also has the side steps, it's fitted as well, finished in this dark grey metallic with a full black leather interior, and the car is really very nice indeed. As you can see there, clear, obviously that front bumper really is subtle, but it makes a big difference to the stance of the car. Front of the car is very clean indeed, hardly a mark of any note on there at all. Bonnet itself wonderfully clean, so hardly a stone chip that you could really notice there. And to come down the near side of the car first, very clean in the panels. Not to say, of course, there isn't any, or there aren't any marks on the car, because of course there will be, but they are very light indeed. Near side front alloy, absolutely unmarked there. And the panel work down this side is very nice indeed. Just again, as I said, just with the odd little mark, which you're going to clearly expect on a car of this age and mileage. Near side rear alloy, again absolutely unmarked. And then hopefully you can see there, you come around the back of the car, you get the high level rear spoiler as part of the pack, and this little plastic insert which goes into the rear bumper, which just adds subtly, as I said, just adds a sort of a more muscular appearance to the car, and it looks really good on them. They're very sought after with this pack. And then to come around the off side of the vehicle, as with the near side, very nice indeed. Offside rear alloy, no marks in there at all. And then the remaining paintwork is very good indeed. Just to come down to the final alloy, absolutely unmarked. So it really is, it's a very handsome looking beast, this one. And in very nice condition as well. So coming into the boot area, and of course on the Cr-Vs you've got an absolutely enormous boot. Full complement of equipment is here with the car still. It's got the tonneau cover, it's all in fantastic condition as well. Really is, all the fabrics and everything has just been kept wonderfully well. Middle shelf there, again all intact, and then underneath there, it really has been kept wonderfully. If you don't want to use these middle shelves, and I never do, I must admit, just pop them into this. That area there is shaped exactly the same as this up here. So you can just put them in, put a little tip, put them in upside down, so you're not going to damage the fabrics. Come to the back of the car now. I mean, that is an amazing amount of leg room for any car. And bear in mind that front seat is set for me, and I'm 6 foot tall, so that's about as bad as it gets. Which leaves you with huge amounts of leg room. Leatherwork is in absolutely fantastic condition. These are family cars, so quite often you find Cr-Vs are quite bashed about in the back. Nothing to do with build quality, just, you know, kids like to sort of bash things about, as I said. But this one's been kept really well. Coming to the front of the car now. Door card again in wonderful condition. Footwell area is all lovely and clean. Full set of original mats on the car, Honda ones. And the front passenger seat really has been given the very lightest of use. Driver's door card, as with the others, been kept really well, even little recesses. I said the footwell area is absolutely wonderfully clean. Driver's seat, fantastic condition again, obviously electrically adjustable. So sat inside the car now, engine's running through the section of the video so you can see the dashboard illuminated. Dashboard is in absolutely beautiful condition, it really is. Sat nav, you can see there, working absolutely perfectly. If I pop the car into reverse, and you can get a lovely rear parking camera to go with the parking sensors. But just has been kept absolutely fantastically well. Obviously dual zone climate control, so you can have different temperatures side to side. If come down the centre here, you can just see just how nicely this thing's been kept. Heated seats, all working exactly as they should as well, by the way. Then across the main binnacle of the car, and just to pan in there for you, 49,926 miles, and the only light showing on the dashboard is obviously just the low fuel light you can see there. But it really is in absolutely fantastic condition in here. Auto lights and auto wipers, cruise control works exactly as it should, as does the radio controls there. The only thing that I can find that doesn't work, and has been, and for good reason actually, it's a 10-year-old car with a 10-year-old Bluetooth system. The Bluetooth systems on this vintage car used to actually become a battery drain, which would flatten your batteries. So as with many of its type, it has actually been disconnected and won't be reconnected. So please do bear that in mind. Just to quickly show you, owner's manual pack for the car and the navigation system is here and present with the car. Very importantly, so is the lock and wheel nut key. Right then, this is a road test video, and this is for a Honda Cr-V 2-litre EX automatic. This particular car is registered at FP08EYC, and mileage at start of road test is 49,910 miles. Reason for doing these road tests is very simple. It's just that we want customers to see the cars we're advertising actually in operation. We're aware that many of our customers come from not just the UK but also Europe as well, so the least we can do is go to the time and effort to do this for you. It's a critical video, so if there's something not right about the drive of the vehicle, then obviously I will feed that back to you. It's also done on the same very quiet country roads in this lovely part of Gloucestershire. We're literally only a couple of minutes from the motorway, so it's very easy to get to, but it's pretty much stress-free. You don't see too many cars down here. So starting with the car and engine just been serviced, all in very good order. The engine starts absolutely instantly, of course. These VTEC engines are wonderful units. Settles to a completely smooth, even idle. There's absolutely no warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car. The engine itself they are just brilliant units, as you probably already know. There is no cam belt rather on the car. It's a cam chain driven engine, but it's the way the engine operates. It's so smooth, it's keen to rev, it's keen to pick up, very well matched to the gearbox of the vehicle. The reputation of the engine is such that it's absolutely unmatched in its class in terms of not only reliability but longevity as well. They're incredibly tough and durable engines. We don't really ever touch them. Engine then goes into the Honda automatic gearbox, which is typical of the breed. It's very smooth shifting. The ratios are very well spaced to get the best out of the engine in terms of both performance and economy. Again, a reputation for being incredibly tough and long lasting. The gearboxes, we've never ever touched one, in all honesty, so we've had many with some very high mileages as well. Having said that, regardless of reputation, should still do the same checks, whether cold and hot, and just put it into neutral, select drive and then reverse, and just see if there's any delays in the engagement, any sort of thumps or clunks when it goes in, because there shouldn't be. And this one is absolutely perfect. There's nothing at all in the gear changes that there are, like that one there. You can hardly feel it. It's very, very well done. So in terms of the powertrain of the vehicle, all in very, very good order indeed. Steering on the car has always been a strong point on these CR-Vs. I love this generation of power steering. It's proper hydraulic power steering. It's weighty. It tracks absolutely dead straight. There's no major vibrations coming back to the steering wheel at all at this speed or any up to the legal limit, but it just feels lovely and solid on the road. It's just got that really got a hunkered down feel. It's light enough to be very easy to drive, of course, but it just doesn't feel disconnected as so many power steering systems can. And I can't feel any obvious wear in the steering of the car at all. It just feels tight and taut. Chassis of the vehicle, again, what I'm looking for on these road tests is just any signs of any mechanical wear under the car. We might get a few little sort of clunks or clumps coming from underneath the car. There's nothing at all. It's you know, you'll hear it hitting a bump, but you don't get those secondary noises, which is normally things like little drop links or anti-roll bar links, where bushes are perished and it's just metal on metal chattering away. But there's literally nothing on this. It's absolutely perfect. The chassis is also just perfectly judged. I mean, this is the best-selling SUV in the world, the Cr-V. So Honda know their market very, very well. What they haven't designed as a sports car, because that's not what it's designed to do. It's designed to take families around in comfort, but also comfort, as we all know, is subjective. The car rides very, very smoothly over pretty much all surfaces, but it doesn't roll a load through corners either. They've got that absolutely perfect. So when you go through corners, it stays controlled, it doesn't lurch in, doesn't keel over. You know, it's noticeable with, you know, rear seat passengers. My kids are prone to car sickness, but they never suffer it in the Cr-Vs, and we've had loads and loads of them for that very reason. It's a very well sorted chassis. Just going to give the brakes a bit of a shove when I get around the corner. It's a really good brake pedal. What I'm looking for, especially in an automatic, is any pulsing or vibrations coming back through the brake pedal, and there's nothing at all. Also, it pulls the car down dead straight. It doesn't pull left or right when you're hitting the brakes. Looking around inside the car, it's in really lovely condition in here. You know, I mean, and they are brilliantly made cars as well. You know, they've been looking at a car that's 10 years old and it doesn't exhibit a creak or a groan or a buzz from the trim at all. I mean, they are brilliantly put together cars. They're also, as much as it is a very highly equipped car, you know, it is very simple and easy to operate. The sat nav is simplicity itself. You know, press a button and it's all touch screen. You can do voice activation if you really want to, but that's the only thing I'd say was a gimmick on the car. But all the switches have a very high quality feel. The dual zone air conditioning, which works perfectly, heated seats, the actuation of all of them just feels like a very, very well engineered car, which indeed it is. Instrument pinnacle is classic Honda. It's just big, dominating rev counter and speedo, which are very simple to take the information in and very nicely styled as well. As I said, obviously there's no warning lights on the car. Temperature gauge, by the way, is running at a third, which is exactly where it should be on a Honda car of this type, whether it be petrol or diesel. But it's in lovely condition in here. The car drives beautifully. As you probably already know, but obviously these are four-wheel drive vehicles. Although Honda very quickly worked out that the vast majority of people's driving, sort of 99% certainly, is going to be driving like this in perfectly good conditions, you know, on normal roads where you just don't need the four-wheel drive operating. So why have a permanent four-wheel drive system which basically is just chewing up tyres, put mechanical wear on the car and making the car use more fuel? This basically is running the most efficient way of pulling a car along in front-wheel drive pretty much the whole time. Only when it senses the front wheel starting to spin will it introduce the rear wheel drive, and it's seamless. There's no buttons to press, there's nothing to engage or disengage, it does it for you. And I've been towing with these for years and years and years across some pretty soggy pitches with some pretty hefty caravans, going through snow as well, and never come close to getting stuck with one. It's a very, very good system, and pretty much bomb-proof reliable as well. We've never ever touched one, touch wood, over literally thousands which we've now sold over the 25 years we've been doing this. As I said at the start of the video, the point of the video is to pick up any issues on the car. Driving it here, I find nothing at all. It drives absolutely beautifully, and I've had loads. I used to work for Honda in Bristol, and so did my business partner. So we love our Hondas, and we know how they should drive. So it's not a I didn't realise excuse that some garages come up with. We know how they should drive, and it drives fantastically well. Having said that, if I've missed something on a video, don't hesitate, give us a call.